Well, hello everyone, and welcome to this first video series of my Ableton weekly series. So I basically go around a concept every week and share it on my YouTube channel. Sorry if my voice might sound a little bit weird or a little bit low quality. I'm in my parents' place right now and it's countryside. The internet here is quite messy, and still I wanted to sit down with my laptop and record um, um, an edition of this Ableton weekly series. Okay, today we're going to talk about advanced sidechain programming, or basically how you could use better sidechain using Ableton. Here I have a basic kick, which is just a 808 8 to the floor, and I have a bass, which is just a basic solid wave that would sound really shitty, but let's listen to it. Alright, enough. Normally what you would do is open the audio effect and drop a compressor straight to the bass line, and you would normally open this sidechain and put the kick. So eventually you could mess around with this. That's so annoying. So, and then, you know, then you could start to tweak around with the ratio and start to feel like a better kind of a sidechain effect on the bass line following the kick. What I want to show you today is a better way to treat this. The problem here is we are having a sidechain that is explicitly binded to the kick. So no matter how we process the kick, we will always be bound to it. Especially that sidechain is a device in Ableton that does not copy the signal, but actually pipe it strictly. So your signal of the bass would actually load it here and not be copied here. So one way you could eventually derive from it is to create another audio channel and call it something like bass sidechain, and you could eventually here remove the compressor and start to have both channel. So this one would be the raw bass without any compression, and you would have the sidechain. The problem in here is still that from the input of this compressor, even on this sidechain compressor channel, we still have the kick driving the signal of compression, and that's very bad, because if we simply listen to the kick, well, you can see that actually the way you want to sidechain this kick is not eventually to sidechain all of the sound signal, but you want to actually drive a signal playing in the same time of the kick and pipe this signal to the bass line. I don't know if that makes any sense for you, but I'm just going to demonstrate to you how I like to play around with this. So let's say I have a kick I love and the sound of this kick is really good. I would normally create a group that I will call my sidechain blueprints. Okay, so I would group them and call sidechain blueprints. Actually, the idea of having a sidechain blueprint is that you can have all the sidechain slot you want depending on the audio channel. So this is called kick. I'm gonna make it blue for a better vision. And let's say I like this kick. Well, instead of having the 808 core kit here, I'm going to delete this guy and simply drag and drop an operator here and leave it as a sine wave. This way, we're gonna say kick sidechain signal, okay? And what I'm doing right now is basically playing my kick, if I'm playing it to you, and I simply duplicate the MIDI slot of the kick. So this clip here becomes a sidechain signal. So now what I can do is, if I play all three together, we can see that the kick drives its own channel, and the audio, the final audio output of the kick, is totally independent on the bass output. So if I put a compressor here, I would actually have the abilities to, instead of pipe this audio input from the kick audio channel, pipe it from the kick sidechain. Okay, so if you kick sidechain signal here, well, you can see that we somehow have the same drive of the kick being piped into it. But the reason this is better is that from now we can start to actually mute our kick. The way we designed it is that we have the sidechain playing a signal that is piping to the baseline. So we can start to design our own signal compression strictly inside of this. Okay, and why I call this blueprint is that normally when I would have designed a kind of good signal I would eventually just extend this one. So I could create another channel and say actually sidechain, okay? And inside of my sidechain, I could still borrow my blueprint. That would be all good. Mute the blueprint. So when I want to design a certain type of 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 um, of sidechain on the kick, I would go here, start to design. Let's say I want the sidechain to go a bit after the, let's say I wanted the sidechain to go a bit before the kick drops. I could start to mess around with my signal here. Okay, that would be a bit tricky, but, or let's say you want it after. Okay, so you could just pipe the kick sidechain here, design your sidechain signal, and then pipe it to your bass. So you would actually have your kick running in a totally silent entities instead of having, let's say you have this bass line and you want this kick to drive. Let's add a bit of release. So, as you can see here, oh, sorry, wrong one. So, as you can see here, this signal is actually driving out the bass compressor sidechain is happening. So, you could basically design your own type of signal and be creative. So thanks a lot for watching. I hope you liked it and hope to see you next time.